All right, Donald Trump just secured the election. Washington was the state that put him over the top. This is great news. That means MAGA will secure the Republican Party. Now all he has to do is endorse me. So let's go. March 12th, 2024, and I am coming at you again with another video. Trump has secured the nomination, and I have been wrestling with bureaucrats myself over the last few weeks, and it kind of sucks. I can't lie. I get tired of it. It's all so tiresome. I know so many of you feel the same way about it too. Just constant, always something, huh? And then when you try to turn on the news or anything like that, it's just more nothing. Either it's just outrage or it's just simply just pointless and doesn't have anything to do with you or any of your main issues. I get that. That is why it is so imperative to vote for the America First candidate, MAGA, the Trump Republican. In this state, myself. And I'll get you guys a list after the elections are all together and we know who's running on who else is America First. I have fail-safe tests on all of them, so I can tell if they're genuine or if they are not truly looking out for our best interest. Anyone that wants to put us back into the Washington State slave system does not have our best interest. It's really sad, to be honest with you, how many people are lost in the matrix. They think that somehow by using more of the Federal Reserve's fake money or by band-aiding some of the deep state's ongoing issues that we will somehow all become we'll all become fruitfully prosperous just based on them tweaking a few little things here and little things there. They could have done it the entire time. They are choosing not to. They want to keep you enslaved. So they make you broke and poor on purpose and then try to push government aid on you so you are dependent on them, so you don't speak up. And if anyone around you or yourself steps out of line, the Gestapo comes in and slams you, takes away whatever you have, and then makes it to where it's impossible for you to live. So you're forced to stay quiet and be part of their system. I went to traffic court the other day, and they violated my Constitution 3 times before I could even get a word out. They just assume that everybody's going to go down their little path. Don't you dare. I was simply trying to have trial, discovery, that kind of thing. It's traffic court, you know. I get it. It's not the biggest deal, but I'm in court. I want to do things right. I want my discovery. I want to go through the process. You would have thought that I slapped that judge in the face because I wanted to represent myself. I didn't want their public defender, and I certainly didn't want to make a deal before I even saw my discovery. And then they started stumbling around because they don't know anything except for their little railroad process. And it's just disgusting to me. It's just sick people, you know? And then I think about all the other people that are forced to go into that court that don't have the wherewithal I do to sit there and keep nailing the judge and the defenders and the public defender, the prosecutor. They kept getting their roles screwed up. They didn't know who was who. They're all the same mechanism. On a little TV screen, the three of them in a little window thing. I showed up to go to court because I was going to court and I wanted to represent myself in the court. So they wheel a little screen out to me on a stand. Oh, thanks a lot. You guys are actually going to try and make me take you seriously when you guys can't even take yourself seriously? Come on. Why don't you guys at least try to have face and hold a semblance of a normal court system. Even if your overseers are telling you to just deprive people all day and railroad them. It's truly rude. I'm glad it's happening to me now, because I can assure you it will not happen to me later. So happening to me now helps me to see it and correct it. I will have to send spies in later to figure it out, but it will be corrected under me because I will not have any tolerance for it. They promote it and set it up now and actually look for the people that will actively be yes men to deprive you. And they think that they are high in society for this. However, they are not. They are sad, sad people. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm sure I will be successful in my traffic court endeavors. They have already failed twice, and I could already end it. However, I want to see if they flail around some more. They've already violated due process. They may not know that, but that's okay. We'll get there. Anyway, I was looking at my list on the issues, and there's, a bunch more. Trump just won tonight, and that brings me to the topic of the night for on issues, and it's the fake polls. You're going to see a lot of polls on the TV, and some of you will remember one of the most glorious nights ever, and that was the election night of 2016, when Donald Trump mopped the floor with Hillary Clinton, and all of the mainstream news and bureaucrats had already had her in. They had her office name on the door. She didn't even have a concession speech. They had t-shirts and magazine covers, all that printed. They were assured that Donald Trump would not win. However, he did, and it was truly glorious. And with that glorious came the exposure of what we call the fake polls, is what we're going to talk about tonight. This election will be based a lot on public opinion. I'm the common sense, obvious candidate to vote for. However, if people are planted with the seed that I possibly can't win because I don't have the money, the power, or the endorsements behind me, they will vote for somebody else. This is a deep state mind trick, okay? The good news is Trump has secured the Republican Party. So unless he has some reasons of leverage in a chess game to not come out and directly endorse me, I'm a strong enough candidate to do it on my own. Hopefully, for the good of the country, he doesn't endorse anyone against me. That would be very bad for us. I don't see that happening, but I do understand a lot of times there's money in politics. I do understand there's influence in politics, and maybe they have him in a basement. I don't know. But it's my belief that he will come out and endorse me fully because my intent is correct, and his intent is to MAGA, make America great again. My intent is to make America great again. I'm open to learn. I share a lot of policies with him as it is, and I've been a supporter from day one. I feel that those are pretty good attributes for him to look at, and whatever issues he has with my policies, I would be happy to address, discuss, and break down, because there are a couple things that he and I may not agree on, but I don't even know that for sure. We may agree on it. I don't know. I'll ask him when I talk to him. So the fake polls, I noticed in Washington State that so far the election results are still coming in. Trump has secured everything that he needs. But in Mason County, where our guy is the auditor, okay, he's a American patriot who won the election in 2022. So he is a proper and good auditor who's trying to keep everything up and up. And he is looking for them to do bad things. So he's on top of it. Nice job, Steve. His county, Mason County, Trump, the Republicans had almost over double the votes of the Democrats. In King County, Biden won like 100,000 votes. It's crap, all right? So they're obviously flooding they're still doing the mail-in ballots and the fake ballots. So there's still artificial ballots coming in for the Democrats. The Republicans, not so much. I'm looking at the numbers, and they had to narrow it way down. Instead of 4 million voters like they've had all the other times, now it's down to 1.2 million registered voters. Oh, that's a lot less. Registered voters, mind you. Not all of them are probably going to vote in this primary, since most people don't even realize it's today, right? But that doesn't matter. They need the numbers. They have to show a heavy Democrat presence in order for them to say it's a blue state. Like, for instance, if you go look at Super Tuesday, you'll see the Republicans stomped in every state because they keep the votes separated, all right? And they don't want to tell you this, but you'll see that Trump and the Republicans doubled the output of the Democrats in most of these states. So Trump would get 1 million votes. Actually, in most states, it's more like 500,000 votes, and Biden might get 100,000, right? Well, Washington State, they've got their finger on the button here, so they're trying to inflate it in some counties, but they can't do it in all of them. So magically, in their stupid counties that they have control over, there's like 100,000 extra Biden votes, and then you got all these other counties that are right on the money with high Republican votes and low Democrat turnout. You know, like there'll be 8,000 Republican votes and 3,000 Democrat votes. That doesn't bode well for whoever running as Democrat in the general election, just so you know. That does not bode well. But they have to hide that. They cannot let that out because that's the secret. And that's the number nobody's looking at, right, is the overall turnout between the two parties. So that's where you got to watch your fake polls now. They're doing everything they can to run damage control. Our local news is just horrific and terrible. They won't even say my name. They won't mention me. They'll say I'm not a serious candidate. That's how scared they are. And they get these people to come out and say this smut crap. None of the main people will come out and say it because they don't want to be held accountable later. They don't want to have to come out and say why they said these things. So they'll get their little puppets to come out and attack a straw man that they'll insinuate as me. But it won't be me. They won't ever say my name because I'll be able to retaliate directly, and that will not be good for any of them because I will slaughter them because they are all low IQ individuals that have no clue what they're doing in life or their jobs. Okay? The state of Washington needs its toilet flushed, and that includes the entire state government, in my opinion. The ones that are in power now will have to struggle to prove to me that they are worthy of their spots. I will look at their past records. I will look to see if they are competent of their positions. If they are being influenced by outsiders, you guys will know. You will have Governor Lawson's list of losers, and it will be up on the wall, and you will have a weekly list of losers that have done loser things, and I will have the diagram broke down for you with brackets to show the exact loser moves they made and all the elements to show it. So there is no doubt, and it is not hearsay. And all they can do is attack me, not the message. As always, the message rings true because my intent is correct, and my true intention is to make Washington great and make America great and to deprive these losers of their jobs that they are not doing but are charging us for. And they are actually treasonous, and the Constitution needs to be enacted, and these people need to be dealt with. However, I feel the position to properly do this from is the position of the governor. Because if I try to do it as a civilian or a citizen, they will dilute the message and make me look like a radical. Therefore, as the governor, I will be able to correct the situation because they are criminals. Therefore, I will have the military and law enforcement behind me to address the situation. You can rest assured that 90% of law enforcement is already on my side. So there won't be an issue there. The 10% that are not have skeletons in their closet. And that's the only reason they would back these psychopathic positions that the Democrats offer you. Without ballot harvesting and without the media, the Democrats do not exist. Their voters do not exist. Their base does not exist. The ones that support them now do not have a good enough attention span to be able to weather their mass media influence failure. So what I'm saying is if the media went off and the propaganda went off, those folks are influential by their immediate surroundings, which is you and I and the rest of the MAGA supporters, since their base is non-existent to very small. This is the truth of the matter. They are the minority in a big way. They're using media and tech to influence you to believe that they are the majority. This is false. So, when these fake polls hit your TV screen and Governor Lawson is missing from the big list of losers that they put on the screen, know that that means we are winning, and we are indeed such a threat that they felt they could not add us to the list. They love to do this. However, if President Trump comes out and endorses us and we become the mainstream Republican candidate, that's good, and we will prevail, because then they cannot ignore me, and that will force them to put the spotlight on me, and as you all know, that will force us to win. Now, Here's the issue, and I don't know because I do not want to mess with the Republican Party, and I never did. If they want me to come up with money or somehow buy my way into the Republican Party, I will not do it. And I will tell you, the people of Washington, that they tried to bribe me. And that's all it will be, is if they want me to give them money or somehow allege some sort of faux allegiance to them or something that will deprive you guys of fixing the situation, I will refuse, because that will take away the leverage we have right now as me, as the Trump Republican, running to save you and make Washington and America great. So if the Republican Party, even under Donald Trump's leadership, tries to bribe me or take away your freedoms or hurt you, I will let you know. As far as this goes, that hasn't happened. In fact, Laura Trump gave me a little thumbs up emoji the other day when I asked her if she would help me save Washington State. Therefore, I think that we will be the Republican nominee. If they decide to back one of the other Washington deep state rats, we will go from there. And I will make a video, and if you guys want to support me at that time, that will be your choice. As it is now, you guys need to do your research and verify that I am the right candidate. I assure you everything I am telling you is true, and you will find that upon looking at it. So, I can win, I will win. Don't let them tell you I won't. When people say, he can't win, say, you're crazy. And no one's ever going to win if you guys allow them to dictate who can and can't win with their fake polls. And if you believe for 1 minute that there's a chance those polls aren't fake, or that what I'm telling you isn't true, look at my track record. Everything I've ever told you guys, 100% comes true. Even if it sounds nuts and crazy, it's right. The trick of it is painting things that sound crazy into the proper context. Because they're trying to do all the craziest things you could imagine. But they're doing it in ways that's subtle. So it's like slow cooking a frog. And before you know it, the water's boiling and you can't get out. So you have to pay attention to the little things. The little things are them getting their angles and stuff set up. And when I'm sitting there calling the balls and strikes, when they're still setting up, I'll be like, it's not a good idea for them to do that. What they're doing over there has a bad intent. There's only one reason they're setting up right there, and it's for this. I know, and I see it, and it's a strategy, and I see them trying to rope you in and take your freedoms. That means taking my freedoms. I don't like that, because I don't like to sell out, and I'm definitely not going to sell out to them. So, I will never sell out to their authority, especially when they're using it to deprive the American people of their liberty, justice, and constitutional right. This is why I am here. I have a duty to my ancestors. I have a duty to my family, to my future family, to the people of the state, to the people that are my friends, to the people that have lost people on fentanyl and other drugs, to the people that are in jail for marijuana, to the people that are homeless now because of the Deed of Trust Act, to the people who are abused by the state's regulators and their unlawful deep state regulation. I invite you guys to watch the new Tucker Carlson that just came out today, where he actually interviews Jacob Chansley, who does a very good job, very eloquent, and very, well, he lays it out very well. He articulates the deep state very well. I also have articulated it very well to you guys and explained to you the bureaucracy and the hierarchies of it. However, he does explain it very well to the truth of it, which is very good. And you can tell he must have fought it on his own many times. He wrote a book about it, it sounds like, and I learned a few things from listening to him talk. But mostly about him. I kind of already knew about the deep state just because of all their crap. Since Trump got elected, they went psycho. So, they're psychos. I told you guys about him in a couple other videos. I think my last fireside chat I did a few days ago, I talk about how psycho they are. They're psycho. But they'll fall quick because they're all money based. The minute their job stopped paying them money and they thought they were going to die or something, they would just stop their madness. So that's where we come in. We just got to turn the faucet off, but we're going to have to do it from the top, you know. And we'll get them all. Don't you worry. And society will be a lot better for it. I mean, at this stage, you could just pull the plug and shut society down completely, and life would be way better. Just unplug the internet and life altogether. People have chickens and cows and kids playing outside in the park and stuff. It'd be amazing. Yeah, so the fake polls. Fake polls will rob you of everything if you believe them. King 5 News, Como, Cairo, all these local news stations that nobody really probably watches at all. I would just ignore them. I don't even know if I would even want to be on an interview on one of those rags. I'm serious too. I mean, the publicity would help. Getting my name out there helps. I know there's a lot of people that watch TV that would see me on there, but they're just such a rag organizations. It's like just being on there makes me feel like no one would trust me because I was on their rat TV shows. I feel that way about a lot of big shows. Any kind of like show that was around that didn't want to interview the real candidates or like just goes for deep state puppets all the time and never puts anyone on there that the media doesn't endorse, that are pretending to be on your side, that do these podcasts or whatever, you know. I mean, all of them really. It's just kind of all just gross. The whole media thing's gross. Why do we need it? I could sit right here on a camera and talk to you guys, right? Oh, it's just disgusting watching those guys and their crap trying to sugarcoat and paint everything for people. Maybe some of you need that. Maybe some of you really like the big name TV thing behind there and have a couple girls sitting here agreeing and making new narratives. And I could sit here too and do that and be like, welcome to fake news. I'm going to tell you some fake news and paint it the way I want. The Democrats did nothing wrong. Joe Biden's the finest. He did great. Joe Biden's a nominee too, though. So, when the Democrats go crazy, and because they know what they're saying about Joe is true, and can Joe make it through the election? He can't beat Trump, all right? So if they get the ballots fixed, they're going to have a candidate that can like really beat Trump. So if they fix the elections, you're going to know because they're not going to be able to run Biden. So they're going to freak out and try to put some slick candidate in there that you could not even imagine, like someone good. It'll have to be someone really good, but there's no one that good. I mean, RFK's already in it, and he's going to be the independent, right? But I think that if like somehow Trump made RFK his vice president somehow or something like that, and that would lock the independent and the Republican Party, it would just bury the Dems. It would be pretty funny. It would actually take away the option of the independent. So there's some strategies going on here with those guys and how they're doing it. Washington State's pretty important because like all the crime happens here. It does, you know. I mean, think about all the companies here and all the people that are in this state and why it's all here. Like, they said it was a helicopter, you know. There's like islands getting blown up with F-16s, and they're claiming dudes are stealing airplanes and flying them around. Yeah. The state's not being straight up with you. Okay? So, they're not straight up with the polls. The Secretary of State has he has been censoring information about elections that's true information, and he's using AI to do it to make sure you guys don't find out about their cheating and find out what they were doing to cover me up and alter my elections and steal my houses and shut down my businesses because they're all afraid. But none of that stuff matters because eventually I'm going to get them. And when I do, well, everything they did doesn't matter. And they can't do nothing to me because I've got the streets to back me up. They can't walk down the streets. I'm protected by the streets. So what do? People like me. People don't like you. So that's where we're at. So if you think you can get dirty cops to come get me or dirty whatever to come get me, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, we see you. That's for sure. We see you. And we're going to win. And your fake polls aren't going to help. In fact, nothing you do is going to help. In fact, if you guys are watching this right now, and I know you are, there's nothing you can do. Nothing can stop what is coming. Yeah, so the fake polls won't work, and you guys just got to stay focused. Don't get lost. Stay on track. Remember, we're voting in August. All right, that's our next election is August, and that's when we're going to vote in Governor Leon as the Republican primary candidate, and then we're going to go to the general, and we're going to beat whatever swamp rat they try to run against me, which will fail. So, that being said, let's get her done. If they fix the elections, there could be 2 Republicans in the general. because the Democrats suck that bad. And Bob Ferguson couldn't get elected dog catcher in a fair election. That dude's literally, he's spending your money to try to keep you in the dark all day. That's what he does. Spend your money so he doesn't have to tell you the truth. He spends a lot of money to do that. Tons of money in lawfare to make sure that you don't feel the elections are secure. And if you question it, they'd just rather tell you no. You quit questioning it. You don't question it. You let us just run free. Don't you question it. We're going to spend so much money so you can't question it. Meanwhile, you guys can't afford food or gas. Whatever, man. Believe their polls if you want. Stay poor if you want. You have an opportunity to elect me. Some states don't have that opportunity. Some states got a bunch of suckers running. Not one good candidate. Not one. That would be great. So, you at least got one. There's only one. The only one. Law and Light. I'm going to end the video on polls. And this is the, what are we on? The 10th episode of On the Issues. The fake polls. If you're here from the voters pamphlet, this is a little bit of an older video, but welcome. My platform is the same. I do not change my positions. So the video I did here in March will be the same in May when you're looking at this. The end of May, I believe, is when the voter pamphlet will come out. Maybe early June. So welcome. If you're Democrats trying to make fun of me, you're welcome to. And I hopefully gave you guys some good juice. Thank you for watching the videos today. Please like and subscribe if you'd like more content.
I'll let you try my